What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're back again for NXT Takeover, Go Home Show, and our NXT Takeover Wargames Preview and Predictions, because we are going to smash this into one video due to circumstances outside of my control. My internet's not up in my house where I'm going to be living now until Friday, so I was like, why not do this now? Started off with NXT with Bianca Belair versus Mia Yim in a match that was from last week because Mia Yim was being interviewed about her experiences in NXT because they like to do that with new people who get signed. They did it with Matt Riddle last night as well. And Bianca Belair came in and said, "Why are you interviewing this chick? She is just got here and I am undefeated. You should be talking to me." Bianca Belair vs. Mia was a good match and shows you why NXT does the women's evolution, right? Why WWE's main roster just flounders with the women's evolution. Mia Yim controlled this match early. The only chance of both women are over, like Rover in Full Sail University. Yim gets tossed to the outside and Belair takes over, gets a 2 count. The confidence oozes from Bianca Belair. She just knows that she is the EST and she lives it. It just feels like she lives this persona of hers. Belair goes for a leg drop and misses it, and Yim battles back. Spinebuster Belair for a 2 count. Yim with a Pele kick, a interesting looking Pele kick. Looked like she didn't get all of it for a 2 count. Match comes to an end with a KOD, the torture rack facebuster by Belair for the 3 count. I do like when they give these finishers a name, as we got a name for Dakota Kai's finisher, what was it, last week? The Chiropractor, which is not a good name, and the KOD, which is what Bianca Belair's finisher is called, and she wins. We go to the back and we see the team of War Raiders, Ricochet and Pete Dunne, all having a little conversation. Kathy Kelly comes in and asks them who is going to be representing this team in the main event. As we know, the main event was a member from each team. The winning guy gets the advantage for their team in the War Games match, which is very important because the winning guy, the advantage means after the first 2, it goes 3-2, 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3. Which, quite honestly, in my opinion, the advantage goes to the team that doesn't get the advantage because their final member is the fresher guy. That's just my opinion. Ricochet and Pete Dunne are arguing over who's going to take the match until Rose says, "Enough!" Anson looks over and says, "I'll take the match," and walks off. We get a good promo package for Johnny Gargano and Aleister Black. I don't know who does these promo packages for takeovers in the NXT brand, but they get an A+ because of these. They had one for every single match, except for they had one for every single match except for, I think because they did the War Games one last week, but this week they did one for the 2 title matches and Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano this week, which was just awesome. We hear from Matt Riddle, and he's asked by Kathy Kelly what he thinks of his experience at NXT. He made his debut last week. He was successful, and he doesn't think anyone in NXT is ready for Matt Riddle. In comes Cassius Ohno, who calls the Bro Show trash, and Riddle challenges him next week. So we're not getting it at War Games, which I thought we were going to get a match between these two at War Games, but we're getting it next week. Now, originally, this match was supposed to be on that pre-sale party that was going to happen at the WrestleMania pre-show party, where they had 3 matches lined up, and Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno was one of them, and that got bumped. And now we're getting Cassius Ohno versus Matt Riddle next week. This will probably be this is either going to be the War Games aftermath or the show that is taped at in California. And then we had Carissa Rivera versus Lacey Evans. Before that, we did find out it's going to be Hanson versus Kyle O'Reilly in the main event. Not much to say here. Lacey Evans wins with a woman's right, which, quite honestly, I think her right hand is a better punch than what we saw with the Big Show. The Big Shows just didn't look believable. After the match, Lacey Evans grabs the mic and says NXT is full of a bunch of classless nasties, which I don't know who wrote that, but come on. These girls forget what it means to carry themselves with sophistication, but I will lead by example because I am the lady of NXT, and if they don't adhere to me, I will teach each of them a lesson in the class in manners with the woman's right. They hype Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny and the Velveteen Dream. We also got one for Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler, which is also a 2 out of 3 falls match. We'll talk about that here in a bit. Hanson versus Kyle O'Reilly was a good match. I don't like when tag teams, which Kyle O'Reilly could be tag team or singles team, but it just seems like Hanson or Rowe or a made tag team or tag team wrestling. Not a big fan. Like, did see the Otis Dodovic have like his best match ever, probably when he faced Tommaso Ciampa a couple weeks ago. Hanson, okay, let's see here. You could. I'm just gonna say this right now. Kyle O'Reilly was put on the top rope, and Hanson just hits him with a bunch of clubbing blows. And you could not pay me enough money to sit there with a shirt off and take clubbing blows from Hanson or Rowe. They just looked brutal. Towards the middle of the match, O'Reilly hits a dragon screw on Hanson, who's outside on the bottom rope. Multiple strikes by O'Reilly, taking Hanson down. O'Reilly takes control, working on the left knee and leg after the dragon screw. Hanson's down, and O'Reilly goes for a pinning attempt near the ropes, and Hanson just power lifts him and throws him to the outside. O'Reilly hits a chop block for a 2 count, another dragon screw, which looked even more brutal. Takes down Hanson again as he goes back to the strikes. O'Reilly with a leg vice on the injured knee, adding more damage to it. Hanson fights out and kicks O'Reilly in the face. Sidewalk slam, which was not a normal sidewalk slam, followed by a splash by Hanson. Running slam for a 2 count for Hanson. Hanson with a suicide dive on the outside. Another thing you could not pay me enough to take. Bronco Buster by Hanson, who goes up, and Adam Cole comes out and says, "Don't you dare, don't you dare." And Hanson turns around and looks for a moonsault, misses it. Kick to the face by Hanson, the face of Hanson for a 2 count. Ankle lock to Hanson, but Hanson gets the ropes. Cole with a kick to the face. Hanson gets hit with the axe and smash for a 2 count. Rowe comes out, takes out Cole. Hanson with a cartwheel, and then he lays out O'Reilly. Rowe takes out Cole, and Strong and Fish come out, and then they beat down Rowe until out comes Pete Dunne, who fights off the others. And then Ricochet. This shows why he's amazing. Again, shows why he is a one and only. He, instead of coming out from the back, comes out from the crowd, gets in the ring, and does a dive onto the other 3 men. While this is going on, the referee is distracted. O'Reilly hits Hanson with his title and gets the 3 count. The winner is the Undisputed Era, as Kyle O'Reilly gets the advantage for the Undisputed Era. Little note here, Hanson, of course, has a compromised knee, and then we see Pete Dunne holding his ankle as we head towards Wargames. This was your NXT go-home show for Wargames. Speaking of Wargames, we are going to move on to NXT Takeover Wargames 2018. We have 4 matches, and I'm really surprised we only have 4 matches. I figured they would have added Candice LeRae versus Nikki Cross to give us a 5th match, so we at least have that. But this is a traditional Wargames match, not last year's where it was 3 teams of 3. We have Tommaso Ciampa versus the Velveteen Dream, Aleister Black versus Johnny Gargano, the Undisputed Era versus Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders, and of course Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Of course, we're going to start with the women's match. At Evolution, we had a women's championship match: Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane for the NXT Women's Championship. And as we all know, Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir got in the way of Kairi Sane, and Shayna Baszler ended up winning the whole thing. Shayna Baszler Kairi Sane did invoke her rematch clause, and we will have a 2 out of 3 falls match. I expect this to be Shayna Baszler's last match in NXT before she is brought up. This is reminiscent of Shinsuke Nakamura and Mojo's feud. Joe beat Nakamura. Nakamura beat Joe for the title. Joe beat Nakamura for the title again. Nakamura beat Joe for the title again in a quick faction. So I expect Shayna Baszler to lose this 3 falls. Kairi Sane is going to get the first fall. Shayna Baszler is going to come back. Well, no. Shayna Baszler will get the first fall. Kairi Sane will fight back and win 2 straight. And that is my prediction on that. Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black. How did we get here on the July 25th episode of NXT? Aleister Black lost the NXT Championship to Tommaso Ciampa due to interference from Johnny Gargano. On August 8th episode of NXT, Black and Gargano fought to no contest when Ciampa attacked both men. A triple threat match between the 3 men was scheduled for NXT Takeover Brooklyn 4, which was this past August. After the show was over, Black was later found unconscious in the parking lot of Full Sail Live with Black out of action. After a groin injury, the match was changed to a last man standing match between Ciampa and Gargano, with Ciampa won. On October 24th edition of NXT, Johnny Gargano was revealed as the one who attacked Black before the original Takeover 4 title match, turning heel in the process. The following week, the match between the two was scheduled, and then, of course, last week we got the answer of why Johnny why, because he wanted to be the one to beat Tommaso Ciampa. He did not want somebody else in the way, and Aleister Black was in the way. This is going to be a good match. I can tell you right now, this is going to be a great match. I fully expect Johnny Gargano to win this. This could be Tommaso Ciampa. Not Tommaso Ciampa. This could be Aleister Black's final match as well. There could be 3 call-ups from Takeover coming up, and I think we're going to see Shayna Baszler, Johnny Gargano, and the loser of Velveteen Dream versus Tommaso Ciampa being called up. So I expect Aleister Black to lose to Johnny Gargano. Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream singles match for the NXT Championship. We have, and I'm saying Tommaso Ciampa is going to win this one. There is absolutely no reason for him to lose yet. I fully expect him and Velveteen Dream to also put on the show. This could be the best takeover of all time. And I expect the Velveteen Dream to put on a show, but come up on the short end, and he's also going to be called up. Then we have our War Games match. Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and the Undisputed Era were scheduled to face the War Raiders in the main event of the October 31st Halloween edition of NXT, but were attacked by the War Raiders during their promo, and the action spilled out into the courtyard of Full Sail Live. When Undisputed got the upper hand on the War Raiders, Ricochet entered the fray to help out. Undisputed Era again got the upper hand on all 3 by their time. Action spilled back into the arena. Pete Dunne entered to even the odds, and then General Manager William Regal came in and declared the 2 sides will face each other off. In the War Games match, this has been building since before Brooklyn. And I think the Undisputed Era will go 2 for 2 on War Games matches. It just feels like they can't be touched. You can't touch the Undisputed Era. I expect them to win. I expect them to move on to something else, but I expect them to come out and win this. The only downside to War Games this year, like War Games last year, this year we have 3 titles in the War Games match as the North American Championship, the UK Championship, and the Tag Team Championships are all inside the War Games cage. And Triple H did confirm that the War Games cage will have no roof on it again, which I disagree with, but hey, whatever they want to do. So I expect the Undisputed Era to win this one. They do have the man advantage, and they are going to hopefully play off the fact that Pete Dunne is compromised and Hanson is compromised. But that is your NXT Takeover and Takeover War Games preview predictions. We're going with Aleister Black, Undisputed Era, and Shayna Baszler for the not Shayna Baszler, but Kairi Sane for the Takeover War Games 2018 event. My name is The Franz. Find me on Twitter and Twitch. Find me on Twitter at The Franz. Find me on twitch.tv/TheFranz08. I will see you guys tomorrow for Survivor Series preview and prediction. It will probably be a late show. But until then, my name is The Franz, and I will see you guys later.